Hey everybody, this week's Torah portion is Parsha Matot and Masei. And in this week's Torah portion, the Torah tells us that the Jews were told by God to go and get revenge from the Midianites. The Midianites, a couple parshas ago, had sent their women to try to seduce successfully the Jewish men into living with them. And they were now commanded to go get revenge from these people who sent the women to try to seduce the Jewish people. But right before the Torah tells us this, it says over the laws of vows, meaning there are certain things that a person can say which will make it that his word has to be kept the same way any biblical prohibition or requirement has to be kept. So, for example, if I say, I promise that I will eat a burger today, that has the legal standing as the same way I have to put on tefillin. I have to also now eat a burger, because once a person says a promise in a certain way that is biblically makes it that it's biblically required, then he has to do it just like any other mitzvah in the Torah. And those are the laws that the Torah tells us right before telling us that the people went out against the Midianites to go to war. And we have a rule, which is anytime two things are said next to each other, there must be a connection between the two, which means there must be a connection between the laws of vows, making sure that what we say is kept, and going to war against the Midianites. And we have to ask ourselves, what is that connection? What does what the Midianites did have to do with a person controlling their speech? And our rabbis tell us that speech, what speech really is a way for us to communicate to each other and to build a relationship. And what the Midianites did was send their women to seduce the Jewish men in a way which had no relationship to it. It was just a physical act with no meaning. It was the opposite of everything the Torah wants in a relationship. The Torah's intimate relationship is built upon first connecting together on an emotional level, which is symbolized by speech, connecting in one person to another, and only then comes the physical part of the relationship. What the Midianites tried to do to the Jewish people was say, we're going to change your relationships. From now on, intimacy is something you could do without any relationship beforehand. And that is the connection between the commandment of guarding what we say and attacking the Midianites, because the very thing that the Midianites tried to do was to destroy the male-female relationship on an emotional level and do nothing but have a physical relationship. And the Torah's ideal relationship is that there first has to be communication, understanding, and connection on an emotional level, and only then on a physical level is there a relationship built. On behalf of Makarvi, Shabbat Shalom.